So in this video update, I want to talk about the Speaker of the House race. Jim Jordan is the current nominee. He lost his first bid, he lost his second bid for the Speaker of the House. So here's what happened, not yesterday, the day before yesterday, he loses his first House Speaker vote and he plays for time, and he lost by about 20 votes or so, and then he went back and tried to cut whatever deals he could with those 20 holdouts. And so over time, you see, so here is a GOP congressional report card. And if you look at it, you can find out, what Jordan's rating is on Ukraine, and it's not good. It's a big F. And this is what Jim Jordan's report card looks like. It is very poor. Speaker's race is really, really important. Tom Emmer was another likely candidate, and he had an excellent report card at GOPforukraine.com. It's Republicans for Ukraine. Now, what's going on here is really interesting because the speaker's vote was pushed. So they had a first speaker's vote for Jordan. It failed. The second one was pushed to yesterday. It failed. A third one will be today at noon, and we'll see how that works. Here are the people who voted, Republicans who voted against Jordan the first time. Right? They're there. There's a list. Now, this person's urging, call them because Republicans need to hear from them to vote for Jordan. Well, you could say the opposite too if you're interested in making sure that Ukraine gets funded. You probably don't want Jordan. He's a solid conservative all the way through, but he's also way Trumpian at the same time, and that's not always the case. But he breaks with Trump rather than the conservative thinking, generally speaking, on Ukraine, and that's really the crux of the issue for us. Okay, Jordan lost 20 votes in the first round of balloting on Tuesday and lost 22 on Wednesday. And you would look at that and you would go, okay, it's getting worse for him. It's not really that big. You can't make that kind of distinction. Losing 22 isn't really going to harm him. Losing 50 in the second one, and that would be a significant kind of thing, and that's not where we are. Here's a little bit from Twitter. Just in, third round of vote for the speaker will be noon today. This was tomorrow, today, according to Majority Whip Tom Emmer, who gets to schedule these kind of things. And he can keep running as long as he wants, within reason, because they just keep going around and around on it. Okay, so I looked at this. What was the longest vote for the Speaker of the House? In the longest Speaker election in House history, 133 ballots cast over a 2-month period were needed before representatives chose Nathaniel Banks as their presiding officer for the 34th Congress in 1855 to 1857. So this could go on for a while. Now, it would be probably better if you didn't have that kind of scenario, especially because the House can't really do any business. They're suspended. There's 2 wars going on, one in Ukraine and one in Israel, that you probably want to have, that the rest of the time. I don't really, what was it? Mark Twain said that, or no, was it Mark Twain or... Now, there are a few iterations of this, whether Gideon Tucker said this or Mark Twain, but no man's life, liberty, or property are safe while the legislature's in session. There's something to that, but you still want them to be able to function and do what they need to be able to do. Okay, so that's a quick update on Jordan. Here are the cast of characters that did not vote for him. And what I want you to understand here is that among them are people like this. This is Ken Buck. Now, I wish Ken Buck was more conservative than he is, but I applaud him for standing with Ukraine. But the alternative, his opponent challenger, is dressed like this, with his MAGA hat and sexiest man alive Donald Trump shirt. Okay, so that's where we are. Now, I want to also say this. Not all of the opposition is because it's anti-Ukraine. It's not working like that. They have opposition for various reasons, and it could be all over the map. They don't like this, they don't like him personally, they don't agree with that policy, they wish he would change on this. So it's not as cut and dry as you would think, but Jim Jordan has a very low rating in regard to his support for Ukraine. And we're going to watch this because this is a very important election that could have a devastating impact on Ukraine if Jordan is elected. Okay, thanks for your time. Thanks for the likes and the shares and the subscribes and for being the kind of person that cares about Ukraine.